Hello everyone and welcome to another quick guide. Today we're going to be doing a quick guide on Baal Sezan. Now there's a lot of mixed feelings in the community about whether he's a good champion or not. Personally, he's a really good debuffer. He can also be used as a DPS. He excels in PvE, especially Abyss. I brought him all the way up to floor 80 and finished floor 80 with him. Can do Wyvern 10, Golem 10 with him, no problem on auto. And he's not as good for the new raid because he has poison, and poison's not available for any of the mobs in the new raid for the bosses. For PvP, he's mainly used in cleave speed comps. You could use him with Vildred and Tenebra and stuff like that, where you're just going to land that AoE defense break and all those debuffs, and then use another character to follow up and finish the job. So let's get right into talking about what to build him. And this mainly depends on what you're using him for. I use him for a bit of everything, so what I did was I aimed for around 60+% effectiveness, and then I built him mostly focusing on speed, effectiveness, and attack. Tried to make him as tanky as possible. You can see I already have over 9,000 HP on him, which is quite a bit. To be honest, he's very squishy otherwise if you don't build him. I usually focus more on attack because I would have to have really high gear to get the return on investment for crit hit chance and crit hit damage if I'm building 60+% effectiveness. It's a lot easier if I had his final kind of star here. He would get an extra 6% effectiveness, I believe, so then it would be easier to do that, especially with some better gear. But with the gear I have right now, I'm mainly go for speed, attack, and effectiveness as my main stats. You can build them speed HP set, you can build them speed effectiveness set, you can build them speed crit set. It depends on what your gear's like. If you want to use him as a main DPS, I don't really recommend it. He does good damage, but there are better options, so if you want to build him attack and crit, or lifesteal and crit, or lifesteal and HP, that's up to you, but it's just not my personal preference. So let's get into his skills. So his S1 is really good. It actually does quite a high amount of damage with inflicting poison, so the damage on this for the actual skill isn't too bad. Each enhanced level is huge, 15% damage on first. On his second, 15% effectiveness chance, bringing it from 35% up to 50. So this is a really good skill to level up. His S2 is his highest damage dealer, although it's a bit underwhelming. You mainly use this with your S3 first to AoE them, and then S2 to try and get a kill to reset your S3. It's going to do more damage than your S3 if they're debuffed, less if they're not. I usually only put like recommend putting 1 or 2 into this, unless you're going full damage, then you might want to max this out. S3 is really important. I should probably go to S4, but I just haven't yet. It's S1 is damage dealt, not really super important. S2 is 10% effectiveness chance. You just need this. It starts at 65%, and +2 goes up to 75%, and in +4 goes up to 85% to land decreased speed, defense break, and unhealable for 2 turns. So this is a huge AoE. Really important. So priority, I'd get the effectiveness chance on S3, focus on that, and the extra turn cooldown and effectiveness chance again, followed by, if you're doing a lot of PvE content especially, try and get this to at least 2, because 50% chance to poison is a really big thing. So moving right along, let's go to artifact choice. To up your damage, mainly if you're using them for damage, you use Caladra. It was really the only artifact I had till I did a bunch of pulls recently. The Abyss Crown, this one will be mainly used for PvP. So what you're going to use this for is when you do your AoE S3, you're going to try and stun their whole team, or a couple of people on their team. So this is really good for the PvP aspect. Syra Ren, as a full support and debuffer, this is amazing for him. Since I just got this recently, I haven't built it, but I'll probably switch over to this, to be honest, and use some other characters for pure DPS. but he still does a significant amount of damage. He still is MVP a lot of the times because he does dish out the damage. You can see in my Abyss runs, I've cleared up to 80 and basically used him for every single floor. So let's just go on to show kind of how his combo works. So let's go into Golem. Golem's a good one for this. Just kind of show him, like, I use a double healer here. This is kind of my auto team. I don't really do anything. So he's probably not going to get a reset on this. But, C is going to do his S3 first. This is going to do a decent amount of damage. And then we're going to have Kayron. You could have other AoE DPS. It's going to massively hit him. Got no Dust Devil proc. If I get Dust Devil proc, I'll usually knock out almost the entire team here. And the big thing is, if you get the S2, which is coming up, to kill someone, it's going to do a reset. So now, I'm going to reset it. Now he's going to clear it. So what's going to happen now is he's going to have it, his S3 again for the boss to inflict that unhealable debuff, hopefully. And that's kind of how his kit goes. Yeah, if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Like, subscribe if you want. If you want to see any specific heroes that I have in my arsenal, just, you know, ask me, DM me, put in the comments, and I'll try and get you basically some tips or tricks. Appreciate everyone for tuning in, and talk to you next time.